Hi friends, you got Renee here at Mold Mending. So I am in some fall gear here, and I know that because we're doing this fall transition now for many of us, at least me in the Midwest I am, and many folks around me have already been, that means we are pulling out clothing that we have not been wearing for many months. So with that fall transition, the tip I wanted to throw at you is please consider refreshing or rewashing your fall wardrobe. And why do I say that? Because while it has been sitting in your closet, it is collecting dust. That dust actually embeds into the fibers of your clothing. And then when you go and put that on, you yourself may be experiencing an allergic reaction, but because you didn't realize it's off of your clothes, the dust that you've just put on, you blame it on the season, you blame it on the weather. And surprisingly, I have learned this from experience that it was my clothes and the dust embedded in it that were causing the allergic reactions I was having. Those of us with mold illness, any kind of chronic disease, even allergies, we're a lot more susceptible. So an example of this was last year, I pulled out a long sleeve shirt, first time in that season, and was actually in a meeting here in my home, put it on, and my allergies just started acting up, meaning my nose just started dripping, but it kept dripping over and over and over and wouldn't stop. And I was like, I asked my friend that I was in this meeting with, like, did you wear something new? She goes, no, I know that you can't handle perfume, so I don't do any of my perfume lotions. I don't do any perfume, none of that. And I was like, well, maybe it's her shampoo. She goes, Renee, I've been around you before with this shampoo. I'm like, man, what's doing that? So I was just sleuthing and trying to figure out what is setting off the allergies like crazy. Finally, I thought, well, let me just go change my shirt. Serious, as soon as I changed my shirt to something I had already washed recently, came back out in the room, I'm telling you, within minutes, that drippy nose stopped. And that's where I realized we definitely can get dust hits, allergic reactions to our own clothes because of the dust that settles in it. You know, a wild thing about this is that I have an air purifier in every single room of my home and a very low dust house. And when we are sitting beside someone who has not done that refreshing, that washing of their seasonal wardrobe, we can actually get mold hits, especially those of us with the mold illness. We can get mold hits off of your clothes. We can get allergic reactions off of your clothes, not just our own if we don't wash them. So I share this because of an experience that happened several years ago when I sat down for a meeting. Somebody's clothing, the jacket they had just pulled out, weather had just been changing, and was gagging because it was musty. So just so you know, mold does travel in the air and it's looking for food, and the food that it is looking for, the things that sustain it, are not only water, you know, any kind of water damage that's been done in your home, that's a great source for mold to thrive in, but also any kind of dirt or dust that is just settled around your house. It feeds off of that. So when we're talking about your clothing sitting in your closet, it's a happy camper when it finds it sitting on your clothing. It will settle into the fibers along with the dust, and it's chomping away, enjoying that dust. So when you pull your clothes out, you could be getting that allergic reaction from dust or even from mold that's feeding off of that dust. And also others could be getting that same reaction as well. It could be you, or it just could be someone else. So as a courtesy to others, consider please washing your clothes, washing your coats, your jackets, your hats, you know, before you wear them in the change of the season, so that you're not setting off other people's allergies or mold hits because of what's settled in the fibers of your clothing. And then something that I do is regularly, every 2 months, I'm washing all of my clothing, all of my jackets, so that I do not have a place for dust or mold to settle in. Get that dust out of the fibers, and then you'll be happier. Remember, we can be well even while ill.